Hi there. They call me the governor. And we are here to talk about the really strange anthology style finale of Fear the Walking Dead season 6, which has, up until this episode, I don't want to speak for this episode quite yet, been the best season of Fear, in my opinion, ever. And I have some fine people here to talk about this. Let's introduce these fine folk. We will start with our special guest, the underdog himself. Tell us about you.
I am the underdog, Mr. Williams. I am part of the Walking Dead community. I do skits, crazy reactions. I'm currently doing the Breaking Bad, Invincibles. What else? A lot of stuff. Y'all check me out. I'm underdog, Mr. Williams.
Awesome. And crazy reactions, I will say. He also stops and quizzes his kids. I think that's awesome. Jazz.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I'm the social media person here at Wizard World, and I just love me some Walking Dead. Bring it all over.
All right. Likes those chompas. And Sarah, aka Mama.
I'm Sarah or Mama, either is fine, and I am at Mama Deadhead on every social media platform. And now, since I guess we have this big break, I'm going to be focusing on Star Wars, so there's going to be a lot of Clone Wars reactions on my channel.
With the Bad Batch.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it next, but my patrons told me, don't watch Bad Batch yet, watch Clone Wars, so I'm listening to them.
Well, you definitely got to check those out. We will have someone joining us a little bit later. If you are familiar with our show here, you see we're missing Michonne, but she will be here. She is in LA in traffic, and if you know anything about LA traffic, she will be lucky to survive. So she may be on the screen as a biter. Who knows? But all right, let's talk about this episode. After last week, it was a shock that they failed. I did not see them failing. This missile got launched, and I had hope against hope that they would be able to find some abort code or self-destruct or something, but it was not to be. And we start out looking at someone that I was like, who the fuck is it? It took me a while because we haven't seen her on screen a lot to figure out who was started off the show. But it was Rachel with little baby Morgan.
Yep. And
she went through some shit. Mama, what was your thought about what she went through? As a mama, especially.
As a mom. Man, look, everybody has the possibility of doing amazing things for people. Don't get me wrong. But parents, we've learned, are built different. I mean, Rick ripped this guy's throat out at, this threat that was going on. And Rachel said, you know what, this horrible thing happened to me, but this doesn't mean that you can't survive. And she did what she had to do. And I really genuinely felt for her because it did seem like she was a bright point in the show. It started off with Isaac and her and their little relationship, and we suffered the loss of Isaac. And to also lose Rachel, honestly, I was really sad about it. I would just major props to the actress because she put on a hell of a show for sure.
Absolutely. And that looked very painful. Jazz?
It made me super emotional, and I'm not a mom. I was like you. I was like, who is this person? And, what's the deal here? And then once we found out later on down the road, when the dog found Morgan, it was like, oh, but it was just so heartbreaking. I can't even imagine having to do that. But, you have to do what you have to do to protect
your little rugrats.
Yeah.
Someone who has rugrats, Mr. Williams, the underdog. Your thoughts?
Man, when she was trying to take the tire off the truck, I was screaming my head off. And then when it fell on her leg and snapped her bone out, and the bone was sticking out her leg, and then she took a stick or something and wrapped it up. She's a trooper. But I was screaming what the hell is she doing? Why don't she just get in the truck and wait? But then I was thinking damn, if the missiles come, she's still gonna blow up. But I couldn't figure out why in the hell was she tying a rope to the dog and her, and I couldn't figure that part out. But at the end, it all makes sense. That shit was dope.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the movie Cargo? There was a similar scene.
Yeah, somebody said that they got that from that scene. Is that true?
I don't know they got that from that scene, but it was a similar like zombie style movie, and the father in this case was bit, and he knew that he was going to turn at some point, so he put like a stick with a bag of meat out in front of him and a note on his baby on his back, and eventually he became a zombie, and his little girl found people as well. So
It was
How brilliant
Yeah.
was it that she thought to like put something around her mouth so she can't bite. Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have thought
She was really, really a genius in that moment, or she saw the movie. One of the two. Yeah, she did that. That was, when I realized, obviously, when she's sussing with the tire, I'm like, come on. You got to be careful because that thing's going to fall on. And of course it did. That's why I have AAA. But yeah, for her to do that, as someone who, kept his baby girl fed on, human parts, hoping to get her cured. I mean, I know about dedication to one's, child. So, but yeah, she definitely went beyond. And
Did they ever show how everybody got split up?
Yeah, that was kind of, I know
Like,
they
how's
said
everybody
everyone
split
needs to
up?
get away from the sub, and she was trying to get away from the sub, but why is she alone?
Right.
I don't get why.
With the baby.
And
Yeah.
the dog.
Yeah, and the dog, Rufus, right? And his name.
Yeah, that's what I
Who
thought
everyone
it
was like,
yeah.
let's bring a baby and a dog to this invasion, and everyone's like freaking out about it. And it's like, well, in hindsight, maybe she should have stayed home, but
But also they weren't sure what was going to happen. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, I imagine that just like Morgan was in a state, like he was like just trying to figure out, frantic. So, I mean, obviously he's not going out and helping everybody. Strand probably got out and booked it. I don't know. Like I was surprised in the fact that I wasn't surprised that we got to see John Dory Sr. and Teddy face off, but I was surprised that it didn't happen at the sub. So I guess when they saw the missile, they were just like, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I definitely want to talk John Dory
Ooh.
and the sub, but let me just check on the chat because, people have things to say. Ms. Kayla says the season finale was not what I hoped it would be. It's kind of bothered me with the whole radiation thing with certain characters. I have questions about the radiation radius. Was Morgan and Grace in the zone or not?
Right. Yeah. That kind of bugged me a little bit too, actually. Because like they were running and then they ducked and covered, and it's like that's supposed to save you. Okay.
I had some like as you guys are talking, I might look through my comments here because I had some people that normally comment and then they ended up saying their jobs and helping explain radiation to me. I was like, man, I love you guys. Thank you.
Well, let me get back to the comments real quick while you're looking that up. Group of Gamers Inc. 194 says, Bebe, because Bebe Rose is also in the chat. I'll give you her comment soon. And hey, Sarah and Mr. Williams. So I guess me and Jazz are, chopped liver. Thanks so much there, Jack. Baby Rose says, hey, Sarah, I love you. I applaud Rachel for what she did. I would do the same. So apparently everyone except Sarah is chopped liver. Thanks, Bebe. And Jack says, oh, damn, really, Miss Kayla? I actually love this episode. It's a very similar scene. I would be shocked if that was not the inspiration. I guess you're talking about the cargo thing.
The cargo, yeah.
And shout out to Rufus, too. Oh, my God, the best dog ever. And Deborah Ulmer says she loved the episode, too. So there are mixed feelings about this. I did think that the anthology style was quite interesting, and it kind of tied into how this whole season was almost an anthology. It was like
Yeah.
concentrating a couple characters, and now they just kind of compressed it with that. But yeah, so anyway,
I did find some comments if you want to hear them.
if we want to talk about radiation, yeah, I mean, I don't know that much about radiation other than
I'm not an expert. Let's hear them from the experts.
it makes your hair fall out and you shit a lot, but
So I have two that were very good. This person says, I have a degree in radiology and nursing just on basics, distance from source of radiation, time of exposure, time and thickness of barriers, determining how much radiation exposure you get and the effects on the body. I suggest, if you don't know about the topic, watching Chernobyl because it's really good at explaining. All the members in the group, except those saved by CRM and Alicia, those are safest. Morgan and Grace are likely in the most danger because they went through a cloud caused by the explosion. And then also regular subscriber Samuel Miller, absolutely adore this man. He just supports absolutely everything I do. So sweet. He says that I'm a trained Army NBC specialist, nuclear, biological, and chemical, conducted many classes on drills and safety and decontamination. Unless you're at ground zero and avoid the blast and shockwave, you should be fine. Beware of the fallout because that is where the radiation is. So
yeah, I know that the bombs that they dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, you know, those were very crude weapons. They have refined these weapons. I mean, I'm not sure if these were tactical nukes as opposed to like full powered nukes. I don't know the megatonnage.
yeah.
But it also shocked me that these nukes hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what about, you know, the world beyond? What about the main show? Is there going to be, pardon the term, fallout for like Daryl and Carol as they start traveling around? Will they notice, hey, crap, my hair's falling out? You know, something's going on here.
Well, a lot of people have been talking about the group that Michonne encountered. Maybe they were moving from the Texas region for that reason. Maybe they started noticing things were going wrong. Maybe that's what that big group was doing.
They're starting to have babies with like 3 ears and one eye and starting to look like Futurama. But, you know, which is an awesome show.
I know a lot of people love Old Man Dory, but he aggravated the hell out of me on this episode. Why he didn't kill Teddy? Like, what was the point of that?
So they could do it, apparently.
What did he tell June when he shot the gun in the air? He's like, hey, have you ever heard of a Texas jackass or something? He shot the gun in the air, then June shot the gun out of Dakota's hand. Why he just didn't shoot her?
Right.
I don't get it. What was the point of that shit?
All right, we're gonna obviously skip around this episode.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine because I do want to talk about the end of Dakota because I mean Morgan didn't kill her the last episode. You know, John Dory didn't kill her this episode. I don't think that they wanted to have any of the main characters kill a kid, no matter how heinous her actions were. They didn't have Carol around to make her look at the flowers.
Carol. We'll take care of it for you.
It's like if we had a Carol character, it'd be perfect. But I think they want their hands to be clean of at least killing kids. So I had a feeling she was going to die, but not necessarily at the hands of any of our heroes. And, you know, the fact that, you know, a lot of people in the last episode when Teddy gave her the gun were like, the book lover reactor was like, you know, last time she had a gun, she shot John, or, you know, a couple people said that, or were like, you're giving her a gun. And Teddy learned his lesson.
The hard way.
The hard way. Yeah, I mean, it was a con from the beginning, you know, that he was like grooming her to basically follow his lead anywhere. But yeah, for what's interesting is she is the only one we saw die from a blast.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't see everybody else was like they jumped in a storm cellar, which I don't think provides that much protection from the eventual fallout. You know, so
that was one of the questions I asked at the end too, because Dakota just like got eviscerated. And the place that John Dory Sr. and June went into wasn't exactly sealed. And they got like obviously they were probably closest to the blast. Because I mean, Morgan and Grace were very close, but they didn't evaporate. So what is going to happen to them specifically? I don't know. That's
that was like
Dakota got flash fried,
right?
What's that?
What?
Morgan and Grace, they was hiding up on the tires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like under a big truck thing.
Yeah. So, and I have to say about that particular survival, I mean, Grace was ready for them both to be dead. And then here comes the biter leading, biter Rachel, led by Rufus, with Morgan on her back. Again, a genius plan on her part. And, Morgan's like, now we have a reason to stay alive. And the look Grace is giving him is like, you fucking idiot. It's just like, this is not going to end well for any of us. And now we're just going to watch a little baby die too. So she was not very happy.
They finally kissed.
They finally kissed.
They did finally kiss.
And they said, I love you.
I was thinking of you, Mama, when I was watching that. I'm like,
about fucking time.
Freaking out right now.
They finally kissed.
I died. I just ascended. I was like, yes.
I would think, though, since they had a little bit of time, rather than offing themselves, they might have done a little something before, seal the deal. You're going to die.
Might as well just give birth. Probably not a good time for that. Well,
they could do the butt stuff. Anyway.
Even that would.
They some kind of consummation seemed to be in order. It is the end of the world. Definitely he could go bareback and no one would be like, oh, how irresponsible. Anyway, a few more things. Jack says, I hope they make some connections to the main show. Panel thoughts on the crossover. I will die on the hill that the group Michonne found was from fear. And so he still thinks with chopped liver, but he does say have some good points. Deborah says Dakota's death was amazing. Phyllis says Dakota's death was awesome. So apparently everyone liked the fact that she turned into,
I think it's just the fact that she's dead that people like. So
it doesn't matter how. Just the fact that she's dead is great.
And apparently Ms. Kayla is crying, laughing because she says I'm a mess. Butt stuff. So could have done the butt stuff. Any hole in a storm, port in a storm, something like that. Anyway, there was a lot going on with this, but I actually want to talk about Strand for a bit.
Oh man,
someone's favorite, who impersonated Morgan at first,
which made me laugh so hard.
And I'm like, does this guy even know who Morgan Jones is? So why is he, he could just say, I'm the brave guy. I'm Victor Strand. Morgan Jones was the asshole. And then he wouldn't have had to change his name later on. But
I read an article. Well, actually, I read two. One from Lenny and one from Coleman. And then also actually one from the showrunners as well. And basically,
I think I read that one.
Yeah. Strand goes in and he... is feeling awful. It's like the worst, this is like the lowest he's been. So in the last moments, the reason why he said he was Morgan was because he wanted to kind of go out a hero. He wanted that kind of death. In the last moments, he wasn't going to tell somebody oh yeah, I'm just an absolute shitbag. He's going to tell someone I'm this great guy. And then when he didn't die, he was like, you know what? Actually, everything I've done has been working great. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
I think it's almost his the beginning of his transformation into villain Victor,
I would love that.
Victor Von Strand.
Hoping to see that next season for sure.
So Strand's going to be the villain now?
Hopefully.
I don't know if it's immediate, but, is Morgan going to forgive him for that? Which I still don't understand how he fucking survived without getting bit. There wasn't a convenient dumpster around. There was, nothing that he could really do. And they were coming at him. I have to say, there's been a lot of scenes in this season where a biter could have bit somebody and they were just lazy, unmotivated. Did they get... Does fear get the third-rate biters, the biters that are they don't hang with the overachieving biters who are on the regular show, but even they seem to be I could bite them. I'm getting there eventually. Come on, it's just really weird how you know, these all seemed like you would think these are biters that were formerly military, so they should be right in there gung ho. You know, they should be ready. You know, they should have chomped down on him, but you know,
Strand's a piece of shit. I hate Strand. I mean, I love the actor, but he's a piece of shit, man.
Yes. Disclaimer: we all love the actors. The actors are great. Even the actress who played Dakota. Awesome job. She made us hate her so bad, and that was her job, and that was awesome. So if you see her, buy an autograph, shake her hand, bump fist, whatever she wants to do, and tell her what a good job she did making us hate her. But yeah, Strand. We actually have some Strand comments.
Oh, Jack loves Strand. I'm sure he had some great things.
Well, Baby Rose says, I hate what Strand's been doing, but you can't lie and say it's what he's done since season 1. It's kept him alive. Ms. Kayla says, 1 minute I like Strand, and another minute I don't like him. Phyllis says, do you think they will make Strand a villain in the next season? Again, it might be the next season, or it might be down the line, but I can't see him integrating with the group very well if Morgan's still around. You know, if he
well, I mean, to be fair, Morgan was gonna let Dakota live with him, so, and he was there when she shot his best friend.
Yeah.
So maybe he could, but yeah, no.
Colin Lyle says, I can't stand Strand. Say that 5 times fast. Cleo says, I never liked Strand. And Colin says, so are we going to talk about Sherry?
She wasn't that bad. She wasn't that bad this episode.
Yeah,
no,
she was still annoying, but she was not.
I like when she shot the guy in the leg. I like that part.
Yeah.
So we all like that part with Dwight and her, with Dwight and Sherry.
So Dwight and Sherry find this house, and they're walking through, and I'm like, either the set dressing people suck, or this place is way too clean to be abandoned. Because, you know, I'm looking around, there's no cobwebs, there's no dust, and sometimes,
there's living plants.
Yeah. And I mean, I realize sometimes they have messed up on The Walking Dead with mowed lawns, manicured, trimmed gardens and everything like that years after the apocalypse. And you know, it's not like some instinct of some biter to be like, well, I was a gardener before, so let me, trim this stuff. But yeah, I was looking around and I'm like, this does not look like an abandoned house. This looks like someone's living here. And so I was not that surprised when, hey, here's the owners, but
I was surprised in the moment, but I wasn't surprised overall.
Yeah, you figure they were there. I mean, they did jump out. It was like, hello.
Yeah, that scared me.
How was they holding that door with a rope? Because I'm pretty sure that door blew off. Didn't it blow off to the bunker?
Well, the horses
to the storm cellar
when it hit, right?
Yeah, it looked like they were holding the doors back on.
Yeah, they kind of dragged it back into place and were holding it. I mean, honestly, I've not been in a nuclear explosion.
Yeah, me either. So I don't
know. I can't tell how realistic it would be. You'd have to check with your people, Sarah, to see, if they could say, would they be able to hold that rope? And, the force of the explosion wouldn't knock that shit away. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know the initial flash explosion. Yeah, if you're like watching it, I mean, if Dakota wasn't flash fried, she would have definitely been blind.
Yeah.
When Strand was watching the explosion, those had to be really well tinted windows because he should be blind too. Both of those guys should be like, my eyes, but must be really good glass there. I wonder what they're using and if they have any apartments available because, it withstood a fucking nuclear bomb. So, if that's like an existing building, that could be like their marketing thing. Stay here, you'll be safe from nuclear bombs if they ever get around to blowing us up. But, Yeah, I don't know how well protected they were, how realistic it was.
Well,
And
there's also a lot of mystery. Even if you're an expert on the topic, like where are like John and June? Where are Dwight and Sherry? Like how close was the blast?
Right.
Like there's so many variables that like even if you're an expert, it's so hard to tell.
right, and they don't know, what the how many megatons the bomb was, how much
Yeah.
plutonium was in there, or whatever. I imagine they're using plutonium and not uranium.
And that's just where you need to like remember to have like sustain your belief or your disbelief. Just remember it's like a TV show, it's for entertainment.
Yeah.
So
Right,
if you try to analyze every single thing, it's gonna make you nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I think to talk about the Sherry thing, she wasn't as bad in this episode. And she was kind of like, Dwight, let's just stay here until the end in this really nice, clean house that, has obviously
weird.
lived in. And I do like the underdog said, when they flushed those guys out and the one was still alive and she shot him in the leg, I was like, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was gangster as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. I think unanimously everybody really liked that in my comment section too. They were like, yes, love this duo. This duo is great. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I certainly can't fault her too much in this episode. I mean, if anything, whenever she had her moment of like, oh shit, I really messed up, she said like pretty much all the same stuff that we've been saying. So
Exactly.
I think this is a great step for her, since I guess they're alive, ? That really shows maybe she really is going towards like a good direction. Maybe she is taking an accountability and like responsibility for all these things. So I'm much more mad that John Dory Sr. and June forgave Dakota, because
That pissed me off, man.
June out of the question
Yeah.
here. Like I can roast her any other day of the week. We have done that plenty of times. But John Dory Sr., sir, you were gone 40 years. What right do you have to forgive her? What right? What right?
Right. Well,
Oh, that drove me crazy, man.
yeah, he's like, and why didn't he like just as soon as they showed up be like, bam, bye, Teddy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like at least Teddy. Like you've had this whole like mission. Even if you wanted to save Dakota, maybe I would have gave you some leeway on that if you would have killed Teddy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know why they left it to Dakota to kill him,
I guess
And
it kind of made for a more wild reaction, because I was like, oh my God, what is she gonna do?
Well, it was funny because I'm like, oh, is this the moment that that's going to be Dakota's redemption? And am I going to start liking her? No.
no,
No, hell
I
no.
mean, killing Teddy, good thing, but no, does not balance the scales at all.
Exactly.
John is still gone. She is still a whiny wench, and I mean, for whatever reason that John Sr. and June decided to forgive her, thinking she could be redeemed and be the next Charlie, who I still haven't quite forgiven.
Same.
And she threw that away. She pissed on it. So, she just, it was just so, I don't know, for them to offer her this redemption and for her to turn it away, she's just pissed me off even more.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
In a way, like I do feel bad for her in the same capacity that I felt bad for Lizzie, because like these people never had a chance. Like she's grown up largely in the apocalypse, desensitized to a lot of stuff, and then she has mommy sister Virginia, which obviously can be healthy for her family. We don't know what happened to her parents, grandparents. This girl really never had a chance. And like
True.
one time she thought Teddy was like gonna be that person to actually care about her. He wasn't. She's just so messed up. She's so mad. I hate it that people have to be in a circumstance like that, I guess. I hate her. So glad she's dead, but I do have feelings. Maybe it's my mom.
She had a lot of issues.
It's the mom in my bones. I'm just like, why? Just let me adopt all the kids, please.
Well, the thing is, she was like, she didn't want to conform to society.
Yeah.
Which there are levels of nonconformity,
Yeah.
I don't go to baseball games. I don't go to football games. I am not your typical guy who does all those things, but that doesn't mean I go and say, but I also kill people. there are certain levels, you know. I mean, if they're in my town and Woodbury, then they're fair game. But you know, but in the civilized world, you don't cross certain lines. And you know, they were trying to bring civilization back, and she just had, she was just a horrible. She chose the wrong path. Oh. She survived the traffic. Woohoo!
Hey! Oh, we got Mr. Williams in this bitch. Y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry.
It's LA traffic. What can you expect?
Yeah.
While you're here, Cleo asks, so are we going to talk about the fallout for the animals, Strand and Dwight's horses? You know, basically all the fallout from these nuclear weapons. Sanjeev says, what was even the point of making Sherry's character so irritating? I don't know, to give us someone additional to hate other than Dakota?
Honestly, I think it's realistic. I've seen so many people that have like PTSD and like severe issues just absolutely lash out like that. So
I do hope that she can work her way back for Dwight's sake.
Hey, are we going to talk about Daniel?
Yes, we're going to get to Daniel very soon. A couple more comments.
Gangster as hell.
Phyllis said, I'll never like Charlie for killing Nick. I'm right there with you, Phyllis.
I feel that. Nick was my baby.
And Ms. Kayla says, Nick was my favorite character on Fear. I really wish he was still on the show, but I think she thinks the actor wanted to leave the show. That's why he got shot. I don't know if he did or not.
Regardless, I don't like Charlie.
Regardless, we don't like Charlie for shooting him. Has that actor been in anything else? I haven't really followed his.
I've seen some stuff, but I don't remember what it was because I got into Fear late. Y'all know I only got into Fear for Morgan and Dwight. So when I had to hurry up and go back and binge, like I had looked and I got spoiled with Charlie killing him. But yeah.
You are getting a lot of love in the chat for being here finally. So, you know. But I can see. Well, I can kind of see leaving The Walking Dead, I guess, if you're going over to like ABC for some stupid spy show. But even that's not that forgivable.
Can we talk about my initial reaction when I was watching the episode, when the explosion didn't kill Strand, and just everything that was happening with Strand? I was like, Sarah may or may not be getting her wish here. Because it looks like Strand may be going full-on villain. I don't know if y'all talked about that already, but Strand is always teeter-totter. He's never completely been one or the other, but it looked like he's trying to go on the dark side.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We're not sure.
I'm down to talk about it again.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it more because it's worth talking about. But before we go too much into Strand becoming a Sith Lord and getting an apprentice and all that shit, let's talk about Luciana and Daniel and all those guys and their adventure, and Daniel just, figuring shit out. He did not trust the whole Riley appearance and the Riley information from the beginning. And he was just like, why would you, give us this information so easily and not,
Yeah,
Right.
I thought he was going through his shit again. He got like brain damage or something, like he forget shit. But he was right this time, right?
Yeah, he heard those coordinates and it was right. It was
he killed Sherry's boyfriend.
Yeah, it was Althea. Yeah, well, I don't know that they were doing
I was
it.
like, he killed Sherry, man. I said the same thing. I was like, oh, that's it. Okay.
No, I think one of the reasons he was so bitter and joined is because Sherry was like, "Nuh-uh, you're in the friend zone."
Mm-hmm.
So he had frustration because he wanted to bang Sherry. He had all kinds of frustration because
And all good on Sherry for not letting him do that.
I was thinking that the whole time, has Sherry been with anybody since Negan? Because we know Dwight ain't even looked in another woman's direction.
Hell.
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
I think she's too busy with herself and going through a lot of shit to even really think about that too.
Yeah, you can't
Exactly.
really do any type of relationship thing when you're that fucked up in the head. I mean, people try anyway,
Yeah, you've tried a couple
Morons.
of times.
but yeah. So Daniel figured this shit out and just blew that motherfucker away. And I do like what Wes's parting message. I don't know why he bothered, but he left the parting message with Riley there.
Real quick, Wes got on my last damn nerves. He just had to paint something before he left. He just had to paint something before he left.
I thought that shit was lame as hell.
I was so.
Yeah.
I'm like, sir, you are about to get left.
Yeah, there's a fucking chopper waiting for you.
You got time
They're
for
not
this
gonna
shit,
wait.
man. Get your ass in the damn chopper.
Get to the chopper now. Yeah, I just wanted to yell that. So run for the chopper. I think everyone has an Arnold Schwarzenegger inside them somewhere.
Was that our
what was
girlfriend?
Alia's girlfriend's name?
Yes, Isabel.
Isabel. Yeah. So Isabel is taking a chance. I mean, or she's taking a whole bunch of people back to CRM to be processed. So I'm not sure.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, we don't know who the CRM person is. How do you?
Was that her? Was that
Yeah,
her?
it was Isabel.
It was Isabel.
circle?
The voice. The voice was Isabel. And who else does Althea know who has a chopper? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, CRM got a lot of people. I was like, I'm gonna hold out faith. I didn't want to get excited because I didn't know if that was her or not.
Well, I mean, it did say Al did say her on the phone. Don't ask the pilots any questions, like she or something like that. So it was a woman. I mean, who else do they know in
Oh, I
CRM?
missed that part.
Who else could they really put? I'm kind of sad though that we don't know exactly the circumstances. It could be like Althea sees the nukes and she like really doesn't care about CRM at this point, and she's like, Isabel, please come save them. And like maybe they didn't get a chance to meet yet, but like I'm honestly kind of sad that we didn't get to see them meet after all this time, because Al has just been like obsessed with this woman and told Dwight about it. And I'm also sad that Dwight didn't get picked up by Isabel, because that could have been like, oh.
Well, it's quite possible that they did reunite and Althea just stayed behind so that there's more room on the chopper for,
Yeah, that's what she said. But like, I hope that we get to at least like see that, because like she left the whole main cast to go try and find her, and we don't get to see the reunion. I would like to see the reunion.
Let's hope so.
So Ms. Kayla says, so the guy that was driving the truck, he was bad the whole time. He was bad after, Daniel's little mental break.
I never was a fan of him. I was like, I don't know who that is.
No, I didn't like him either.
It's Sherry's boyfriend.
That's what I've been calling him, Sherry man.
And as soon as Daniel heard Riley and Raleigh, his name's fucking Raleigh Polly, both say Phoenix, he knew they were together, so he figured it out. Daniel,
I literally called him Badger for like 4 reactions because of the Telltale Walking Dead game. There is a character that looks exactly like this man, and I keep calling him Badger, and his name isn't Badger. I'm so sorry to everyone that watches my reactions and has to hear me say the wrong name. Like,
they probably figured it was a better name than Raleigh.
So it's not Riley. How do you spell his name?
Well, I don't know if
R-O-L-I-E.
Karina Benford is the one who made that comment. And she spelled it Rollie. I mean, we can always look on IMDb if we want, but
like roly poly.
Yeah, roly poly. I don't know. He was
Weird.
I didn't really like him myself. But of course, I also thought that maybe Sherry was getting a little something from him, and he had, some power over her.
I will say that, like, I'm not shocked that he was like a mole, but I'm shocked that there was a mole, if that makes sense, because I thought that we were like past that. I thought we're so stressed out over these bombs, and like for the fact that it came back up and he was actually a mole, I was genuinely shook.
Well, I'm just like, he lost faith. So he decided that he's good with everyone dying. That just, that's a really weird plan to go with.
Sure.
Yes.
Wait, real quick. So I thought y'all was talking about the dude that Morgan gave the key to. Y'all talking about Sherry Man? Because I don't know neither one of their names.
Riley is the guy played by John Connor.
Yeah.
Nick
that worked on the
Stahl.
sub, right?
Who was the key guy?
Oh,
The guy
that's
who got
right.
the key.
Okay.
Raleigh is the guy who was Sherry's
We don't know.
side piece, whatever. You know.
Okay, it's Riley and Raleigh. Okay, I never knew his name.
Yeah, I don't even remember hearing it. So
Me
it was,
neither.
it was just, I didn't really take to him. Deborah says it would be nice to see some of them taking the CRM and showing up on season 2 of The World Beyond.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's like we got too many cast members, so let's put some of them on the other show.
Well, I mean, that's kind of basically what happened with the original show and Fear. You brought a couple people onto there, so guess what?
I don't know how I feel about that, because the World Beyond second season's the only season, and then season 11's ending, so Fear's gonna be the only show. I don't really want him to leave for CRM permanently, because I do really like some of those characters. Daniel, oh my god, I adore Daniel.
they what happens is they fucking show up after that season back in Morgan's camp. Hey guys, did you miss us? And here's these fucking brats that we found on the road who don't know how to kill Bitus. So we've had to do it all for them.
Anyway.
Oh my god, set Morgan up with a little training camp with a stick.
Oh, that'd be
There
so
we go.
cute.
I don't want everybody to go to World Beyond, because them World Beyond kids already get on my nerves. And like, how y'all gonna take? You already done took Andy and Deny. You got to take everybody else too. Like,
Corduroy boy knows karate, so he would be a good student, right?
The World Beyond makes me sick.
The article that I read said that, or maybe it was a different one, that there was no plans of stopping at 7. Like 7's confirmed and they're shooting 7 right now, but they haven't been told like, oh yeah, that's your last season. So they're planning for 8 and more. So, you
know, depending on ratings, if they can continue the quality that most of season 6 has been, you know, despite some people being pissed off about the last episode thinking it was boring, and some people, you know, not liking the anthology setup of this one, you know, if they can continue the quality, though, I think it'll go on beyond season 7.
I mean, they did say that season 7 they were going to carry on the anthology style. So if you don't like that,
I think we read the same article.
Yeah.
Phyllis said, "I hope Morgan and Grace survive so they can be parents to little Morgan, and little Morgan will be the first one in this entire series to have the same name as another character."
Yeah.
Because
what was the lady name who had the baby? What was her name?
Rachel.
Yeah.
We talked about what she did in the beginning, but tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. I was watching it like this. You made a bad choice, honey. The car is over with. You don't know how to fix cars. Leave the fucking car and go walk. Why are you under a car with no tools so that bitch can just fall right on your leg? Like,
exactly.
Your baby in the truck just screaming, telling every walker to come bite me. Like, I was literally like, is she really doing this right now? Honey, you're making it.
I would say that was something that I was expecting, like this walker to show up. But no, that didn't happen.
I knew somebody was going to die. I didn't know if it was her. I didn't know if it was the baby. This is not going to end well. And the fucking truck fell on her leg. I was pissed. Oh my goodness.
You and Mr. Williams both. He was screaming.
Yeah. Wait till you see my reaction.
I can't spell cars. Do you think that if I had a baby, I would be trying to work on this truck? I would die trying to work on the truck. Lose a hand. Like, I got to walk. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to walk.
Yeah, she should have hoofed it a lot earlier. Ms. Kayla says, yes, Michelle, those World Beyond kids get on her nerves too. And Ms. Kayla also says she loves when Mr. Wilkins makes fun of Iris on the World Beyond. It's hilarious.
Iris' hair bothers me. And that's coming from a black girl. Her hair bothers me.
Oh, Miles says Iris's wigs used to get on my nerves on World Beyond.
No, they could have did Iris' hair better than that. I'm just let y'all know right now. They could have did her hair better than that.
I don't understand in general why a lot of these women have like long flowy hair. Like I rarely see a ponytail. Like I would shave my head if the zombie apocalypse happened.
Carol did.
Like
Carol
I'm
had
halfway there. I'm halfway there. I hear one zombie, like it's all gone.
A walker got to grab you one time. Wait, who was that who cut their hair? It wasn't a child. It was somebody else that cut their hair after incident.
Well,
That's who it was.
well, Shane shaved his head after he killed Otis, I think, right?
Yeah.
Because Otis ripped a ball patch in his head. So yeah, hair's not good.
Yeah, Alpha had a bald head.
Oh yeah, she sure did. See, my hair ain't gonna come out. You have to pull very, like you would literally have to take skin, which because my hair ain't going nowhere. It's not.
Yeah. So World
That's
Beyond.
That's gonna be me. Me and Mr. Williams are gonna be twins. Fully shaved head.
He's got to send you the same cap so you could, like, you know.
Like ain't nobody braiding Iron's hair. Like, okay.
What?
I said, ain't nobody. We still need to talk about logistics. Like, so this girl ain't never had her hair braided. Like, I just don't understand. You can tell it's not her natural texture. It don't look right. I'm sorry. The rant's over.
Well, we have Colin Lyle saying that they're wigs. So
I know they're wigs, but how would you have a wig in the apocalypse? At least.
Well, Alpha found one. She made one. She scalped
Alpha
that
actually
fucking
made a
woman.
wig. Alpha only did human hair straight. That's all Alpha did.
Yeah, well, you know, those human hair wigs can be quite
That was all that
expensive.
was available. So
Alpha made a beautiful wig. I have to give her that.
The
Yeah.
blonde one.
Stunning.
yeah.
So I also, Deborah said she has a request from me that I make the reaction compilation video for this episode as long as I can. And thanks me for doing them. Definitely, I wanted to make the last one a little longer, but I was at a con all friggin' weekend. So, and I'm like, man, I'm already late. The next episode's already out. You know, I doing this has given me more respect for what Johnny was doing over at Skybound when he was in charge of these things, because people be complaining, you know, and I think he I don't actually watch a lot of all the reactions because, well, some of the reactors, they have little gems that show up once in a while, but sometimes it's like watching someone say, yep, 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 It's like, no, that is not, that's not really a good reaction, you know? I mean, I can always count on the people here, especially the underdog when he's like screaming at the screen. Always something fun there. So
if you don't talk when you watch TV, boo, reaction videos, it's not for you. People be sick of me. Mashawn, shut up. And I'm like, I can't.
oh yeah.
Oh.
If you ever visited, we could not watch it. I would have to watch the episode first and then I could watch it with you, because no way I would be like, I would just knock you out.
Oh, wait till I tell y'all about the new show I've been watching. We're gonna talk about that later because I've been cutting up.
But yes, I will definitely make this reaction longer. I actually have to finish my own reaction, get that out. But yeah, I apologize, but I went to Steel City Comic-Con, which, you know, I know I'm on a Wizard World panel, but if you want to see any of the panels, I got Voice on High said it was okay. If you want to check out the panels, we're releasing them. We're going to have another one. If you're a wrestling fan, Rikishi, we got his panel. You know, we did the Walking Dead panel with Alana and Chandler. Check that out. Some fun as shit. So you want to watch that. Anyway, back to this episode. So we've covered Daniel being a badass. We've covered Sherry actually not being an asshole.
They let Luciana have some lines.
Yeah. Luciana like backed up Daniel, was like, you know, finally she was like, let's put our trust in him. It's like, what do we got to lose? It's not like they could Google hotel with bunker, you know, that would have been nice. They'd be like, no, they're taking us in the wrong direction. But
if only they could all somehow converse. Like Morgan has some info on Alicia. They have some info. If they would just put it together, they would realize, oh, she's here.
well, you know, it would be interesting is afterwards they're like, you know, they did say a big hotel with a bunker. Is there anything like that? Because even though they weren't taking us there,
Where's the
you know, the
nearest
best
people?
way to
Yeah.
lie, and I've been married twice before, so I know this, is to actually include as much truth as possible. So by saying, you know, it's a hotel with a bunker,
And
that
the
rings
fact that-
true. You don't
Yeah,
have
and
to.
the fact that Teddy told Morgan, like, oh, she's safer than any of us. If they mentioned a hotel with a bunker, they'd be like, Morgan would be like, oh, we need to go there.
Right, real quick, can I talk about that? Okay, so I was mad at Teddy for kidnapping Alicia. Obviously, you took somebody against their will. But at the end of the day, he was saving her from his shit.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah,
you
well,
know, you're ending the world and choosing who you want to live in it. But you wasn't dying like you said you was. Oh, did y'all talk about Dakota? That little girl called. Oh, I was so happy. The whole time when Mr. Dory Sr. and June rolled up on them, shoot both of them. Why are y'all still talking? Shoot, I'm talking about I was in this bitch screaming. Why are we still talking?
Yep. 2 bullets.
But
The same shit. I said the same shit.
The only thing that I'm happy that came out of that was Dakota realizing that he was full of shit and then her shooting him. So I was like, okay, that was good. I
So
like it.
it was a slight bit, a 1% redemption for her 100% of bullshit and killing John.
Facts.
So maybe we hate her 1% less for that. But
Right.
and now she's flash fried. So
Which I greatly appreciate. She said, you don't get to see she fucking shot. He was like,
That was me too. That was my face. I was like, oh my
he
God.
was appalled. Okay. He couldn't believe that girl shot him.
Yeah, the
He's
look on
like,
his face.
well, I kill people, not them.
I wanted Mr.
Yeah.
Dory to do it so bad.
Yeah,
I
me
wanted
too,
Mr.
man.
Dory to do it so bad.
I think we all wanted to see him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it was-
I do wonder what Teddy's plan was to convince Dakota to go down in that tunnel. I mean, was he going to be like, hey, I found a tunnel, and, you know, if we go down here, we can come back later and fire another missile. What do you say about that? You can kill lots of people, Dakota.
would have went for it. I mean, you can pretty much talk her into anything. It was creepy though. It was so creepy.
him
Whenever-
hugging all over and kissing all over.
Whenever John Dory Sr. said, yeah, you need 2 people, I said to procreate, and then he was like, oh, to launch the missile. And I was like, oh yeah, launch the missile. No, no, no.
Yeah, I was really.
Ooh, pedal
The
vibe,
whole
pedal
time
vibe right
I was
there.
thinking, I was like, he better not be trying to repopulate this little girl.
Yeah,
But every
that,
he
no.
hugging and kissing all over, I'm like, sir,
Quit.
personal space.
Creepy
You
as
old
hell.
ass creep. Oh my goodness. And he was doing it the whole episode.
Yes,
Sir, stop. Hands to yourself, please.
You need
So,
somebody
Jack-
to love you.
So Jack, who, you know, doesn't like me,
Our
says
friend
he
Jack.
thought Al was the pilot at first. Then while editing, I thought Al was on the radio and Izzy was the pilot. We're pretty sure Izzy was the pilot. I don't know who was on the radio.
It was Al. Al was on the radio. Al was on the
I
radio.
know Al ain't got no
Al was
CRM
fine.
too, so
Yeah, just I don't know. Let them show up in the Rick Grimes movie. That would be fine. I'd be okay with that. They'd be like,
but that mean they'll never be able to go back
Luciana
and
be like,
here.
who the fuck are you? We've never heard of you. I'm Rick Grimes, bitch.
I would be so pissed
He
off
knows
if somebody
it-
from
it'll
Fear.
be like, you know, Morgan Jones. That'll be.
The
that
name
connection
Morgan,
there.
because it's gonna come out. They gonna talk about Morgan, and Rick gonna be like, Morgan who? See, they don't deserve me, Andy.
You know, he tried to kill me once. He was nuts. And then he went to All Life is Oh, now he's doing that. Yes. Now good.
Morgan and Grace, Suicide Pact. I know y'all talked about the Suicide Pact.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wait, Sarah, just give me your POV. I need it just real quick because I was mad. I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? How
Oh my
did we
God.
get up here?
So they kissed and said I love you, and I like ascended. Like I reached my final form. Like I was there. I was so happy. And
Boss
then
level.
and then she lays the gun on the table, and I'm like, no, No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is my quote. No, about 100 times, and I was very offended at the thought that that would even happen. Like, how? Like, am I really gonna sit here and watch that?
And lying they, I was mad. I'm like, so this like I knew, like I was like, it might happen, but it might not. I'm like, if they fucking kill Morgan, I'm not watching it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm not
And it
watching
was just
it.
so convenient. Like, do you hear that baby crying? Like, you think it's not the
how did
first,
it,
and then
you know?
here comes baby Morgan. You
And
know,
I'm like, look at God. They didn't give y'all a child because clearly y'all don't think y'all got nothing to live for. So they need a baby.
I missed if she did this. Did Rachel, before she stabbed herself, did she like turn on the radio and put it in with the baby?
No, when Grace was laying on the top, she got really pissed off and she threw her thing while it was still on.
Okay.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which Rachel, what'd you say?
But how did the baby's voice get into it? I
Because
mean,
the baby
She,
was
she tossed
screaming.
it off the sub, and like I guess where the angle she tossed it at was where they came up to the sub.
The baby
I
was
Convenient.
man, those walkies are fucking
Listen,
terrible.
anybody can hear a baby cry from the distance. Don't nothing sound like it. But my thing was, you wasn't smart enough to just walk away with your baby. You trying to fix this truck, but you came up with a whole fucking plan for the dog to get your baby there. Like what?
Yeah, where were all those smarts when she had the fucking jack?
You
Wicked?
can do the hard stuff, but not the easy stuff. I'm talking about put the baby around the mouth, tied up so she wouldn't bite the baby, tied herself, but stab herself in the stomach, not the brain, so she'd come back and the dog took. I was like, girl, you came up with this whole plan, but you couldn't just leave that truck where it was at. I was happy that she did that though.
It could have been a movie that she watched. We figured that out.
So where are the kids?
Yeah.
Yes, but I
And
don't
Window. They talked about Window, right?
They
Yeah.
talked about
They
Window,
did
but they
talk
didn't
about
talk about the
Window.
kids.
Yeah. Well, I think the kids are probably they disappeared after they were put to work in the fucking oil, field in Tanktown.
But that's funny
It's like
because
child labor laws and all that stuff.
the kids were such a big part of the show. Like they dragged that shit on for so long. Like who doing this with these walkers?
No, the whole point of season 5 was so that we could recognize radioactive walkers, in the last episode. That's all.
I just don't understand why they would build up so much about these kids and then we just haven't seen them. That's the only reason I'll be thinking about them. It wasn't like we just ran into these kids so they could just like be come and go characters or like whatever, but so much was who the fuck chaining up these walkers, who's scaring us, who doing this. The kids was plotting and scheming and then they just gone. Like, so that was it. They don't get to stay around.
How many was it? Like 20 of them? 20, 30 other kids? How many kids
It was
was it?
only 3 kids, the 3 siblings, the 2 boys and a girl.
But then they found more. They
Yeah,
found
it was a whole bunch of them.
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
forgot
found the
about
Lord of the
them.
Flies camp they were in, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it was maybe 10, a dozen,
Yeah,
10.
probably around that. Yeah.
So getting to the chat real quick, Cleo says, I thought he was going to kiss her on the lips, and I believe that is a reference to Teddy and Dakota, because that would have been creepy.
Well, we know he's my little girl, so. But
Cleo also
I don't know
appreciates
what-
my
why.
Rick impression, so thank you for that. We are actually getting a little bit into overtime here, so
ooh,
Oh, man.
I know it wasn't the same without you for the first half, but
party's just getting started.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
we talked about Daniel, we talked about Luciana, we talked about the CRM, we talked about kids, Morgan.
Did we talk about Alicia? Alicia?
well, Alicia didn't show up. She's still,
Kind of, sorta,
enjoying
but
her.
Not really.
Hey, did y'all hear the rumor about Alicia wanting to leave the show? The actress that plays Alicia?
I mean, I heard that she said like being on a show for this long is like a really big deal and she did want to do other stuff. But I know that Lenny said in an interview, like after it aired, that Alicia, like during the filming of like the final couple, she had a lot of anxiety about filming during COVID and she was very homesick. And so she went back home. So that's why she's not in the last 2 as much.
Mm.
All right. Well, hopefully she will decide, she'll rest and come back, because it'd be a shame to not have Victor Strand, the only one from season 1,
A shame. Be delight.
First of all,
Victor Strand
y'all-
supremacy.
if they just keep me Strand, Daniel, and Luciana, I'm straight. I'm cool. Oh, y'all know I love me some Dwight, but like I'm cool off everybody else.
Well, if Strand goes into the dark side, you know, eventually he's got to die or something, or be
Sure.
banished or something.
Because look at Negan.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Possible.
Oh yeah.
He murdered Glenn, Abraham.
The show's not over yet, though. The show's not over yet.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Negan,
but to
and
be
Negan
fair,
has
it's
Maggie.
ahead. It's years ahead. So Strand has at least like 6 more years.
So we not
Well,
gonna.
Negan also has Maggie, who wants to, you know, eviscerate him
Yeah, we don't know
in the
how
most
long.
painful way possible.
I just feel like even if Strand was to go villain, I don't know what that would look like for him. So I don't
Not that much different from now.
like I don't know what that would look like for him. Because I'm used to him just being Strand, not one of the others. So I don't know.
I think that would be really complicated because I mean we talked about it on the last one. He's not in certain circumstances he'll get his hands dirty like he did with saving Alicia, but like broadly for the most part he doesn't. He tries to put it off on something else. So I don't know exactly what type of leader like he's not done anything as like heinously brutal as Negan. So I don't know how he would be leader wise.
Yet, I will say yet.
I don't see him bashing somebody's head in with a baseball bat.
I
Like
just
he would get a
I
suit
can't see him
dirty.
being a dictator like Negan. I just can't see it.
I mean,
Like people be forgetting how bad Negan was, bitch. Go back and watch season 7 and 8 if y'all don't remember Negan, okay? Because they act like Negan ain't never did nothing but kill Glenn, but 7 and 8 is the most depressing seasons of Walking Dead.
Well,
But I
and
can't
you're
see
saying Strand didn't do anything that brutal. He kicked Morgan into a pile of bitas. Come
but
on.
he didn't kill Morgan. He didn't take Morgan's staff and like hit him through the
He
head.
didn't
Like
do a Shane, shoot him in the
he-
leg and sacrifice him to the wall.
yeah, exactly. Like he didn't like he killed Sanjay. He killed Sanjay for Alicia. He didn't know Sanjay. He knows Morgan. I think like if he knows you, it's gonna be difficult to like actually do something.
So he's
he
going to be
hated
the
Daniel.
wimpy leader.
Dude, he hated Daniel. Like Daniel and him always had a thing, but when it came down to it and he was threatening him with a gun, even Daniel was like, "You're not going to shoot me." And the only reason he did was because they were like arguing over the gun and like going back and forth. If Daniel
Exactly.
kind of went for it, he probably would have just like gave up and ran out.
I can't see Strand beating on people. Like
I can't see Strand beating people. I can see him taking half their shit, but I can't see him like.
Well, that's why he would have hired guns.
Look,
Yeah, he would need a Simon. He would need a
Cut to
Simon.
season 7 in the opening scene is Strand beating the shit out of somebody. I would be like, where are we? How did we? I would be like, how do we?
But
I'll be
but
down.
Strand will be wearing plastic over his clothes so he doesn't
Yes.
get messy.
There you go.
He's a very dapper, put together man. Like
Exactly.
the only type of villain I could see Strand being is like a kingpin. I can't see him as like being the type of person that's just.
Yeah.
I just can't see it. I don't know.
I would love to see like Strand pre-apocalypse and like all the shenanigans he was up to. Like he was selling his boyfriend in the earlier seasons, like all the stuff he was doing. Like, cause he met his boyfriend because he was conning him. So like, I want to see those stories.
Well,
I
we got
feel
to
like
see just a little bit of Strand.
Just
when
a
they
And
were-
then he had another boyfriend who ended up turning into a real piece of shit.
Oh, Strand ain't had no other boyfriend.
well, it was boyfriend. It was kind of Cole was kind of
Cole was kind of
they were
moving in
soft
that
on each
direction.
other.
Who was Cole?
Carl was his boyfriend.
Well,
The guy Alicia killed.
yeah.
the guy Alicia killed. They were.
Oh.
Yeah.
They was kind of, that was Aaron and Jesus. We don't really know what it was, but it might have been something.
that.
So Cleo also said that Grace is not happy about baby Morgan. What do we think? Is that gonna like split them up because she's like, we should die rather than, you know, quickly instead of agonizing pain?
I just think she needs some time.
I think she needs some time too, because I saw that look on her face and like she obviously knows a great deal about radiation. She knows the crappy situation they're in, but also that's not her baby. It's a baby. Babies are great. I have no doubt that she would love the baby, but she just lost hers. I just feel like that's so unfair.
Yeah, I think that was actually part of it, was that here's Morgan with this other person's child in his arms, and she's like, that should
could
be
have been mine.
Athena.
Yeah, that should be Athena.
Hey, what's the
We all
baby's
know.
name? Is the baby name Momo? Morgan?
Morgan.
Morgan, yeah.
Because Morgan had saved her.
Wow.
First got to that place, remember?
I mean, I had a cousin of sorts named Morgan, so it was Morgan isn't either gender name. It's like
That is true. I was about to say, like, we all
or
know
no gender at all. Just to be correct.
We all know that baby is for Morgan more than anybody else because we know Morgan needs that baby. Morgan
needs that baby.
has to have.
Well, I mean, look how far we've come in his story. So yeah, 100%.
Morgan, we know he likes to adopt kids. Look at Benjamin. We know Morgan loves kids in general. But
yeah, let's hope that little baby Morgan doesn't end up like Benjamin.
First of all, there was Ezekiel kids, and y'all not gonna do Morgan how y'all be doing. Them was Ezekiel kids. Y'all not gonna do Morgan.
Well, just don't get Carol as a babysitter, because all of her kids die. All right.
Well, we're just gonna err on the side of caution.
Poor Carol. I love Carol.
All right, we are in serious overtime. I think this was overall. Let's give our final thoughts on the episode. I thought it was a good episode. I like the format. I like the setup for next season. I didn't like the fact that Teddy's plan kind of worked, but
Right.
but it's going to be definitely interesting for next season. So Ms. Come Lately, your thoughts, and then your shameless plug.
Season 6. Major step up from season 5, folks.
Agreed.
I have no idea what's going to happen in season 7. I don't know. It looks like all of the countries that the United States go bomb all the time. That's what it looks like right here. So we're going to get to see how other people get to live all the time when the U.S. go bomb their countries. I don't know what that looks like, but it'll be interesting. And hopefully Grace won't be fucked up over more radiation because she should just be over radiation at this point. Like that was her whole job. And then this didn't happen again. I like the style of the episodes. I do like it. And if I actually liked all of the characters, I would be even more enthusiastic and excited about it. So just ignore me. I need Strand, Daniel, and Luciana to live, and Morgan and Dwight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a good season. It was good.
Awesome. Jazz, your thoughts?
Great season. Not that I really have anything to compare it to yet because I will be doing the straight binge 1 through 5 after this now. But yeah, people need to live. Morgan, obviously, Grace, baby Morgan, Dwight, maybe Sherry, even though I feel like we might be seeing, somebody might die in those two in the next season. I'm not sure, but we'll see, depending on the way they keep things moving. And I'm all for Evil Strand next season. I need to see me some Evil Strand.
I think we got to go to Sarah for that because she is the Strand head.
I thought season 6 was phenomenal. Likely my favorite. I want to go back and rewatch everything and make a fresh judgment on it, but I think it was really great. I do like the characters in seasons 4, 5, 6 more than the characters in 1, 2, and 3. So I don't know. I want Strand to live. I love Strand. I've always been down for Strand since the moment he showed up talking that shit with Nick from the jump. Just adore that man. So dapper, so nice. Obviously I want Morgan to live. If I'm going to be real, the only people I would be cool if they just stopped is if somebody would roll a boulder over John Dory Sr. in June. But so they can't get out of the bunker. But yeah, I have absolutely no clue what season 7 is going to hold. And that's it's a lot for me to be speechless and have nothing to say, but it's a really awesome feeling to not know too. I have absolutely genuinely no clue what's going to happen. And I'm just excited. And I'm a deadhead on every social media platform. So
you always
it's like Invincible. Yeah, you guys shamelessly plug yourselves. So do it quick. And then I'm turning it over to the one and all the underdog. So Michonne, what were you going to tell them where to find you, and then Jazz.
All of my reactions, full uncut. Just go to Patreon, okay? If you want consistency, just go to patreon.com/Michonne Reacts. YouTube is just Michonne. Y'all, I'm starting Game of Thrones, and I'm gonna be uploading it with Walking Dead season 11. So yeah, it's about to be lit on my YouTube come August. So it's gonna be lit. All the full uncuts to those is gonna be on Patreon, and YouTube is just gonna get whatever it will accept at this point.
Jazz, where can they find you?
As always, you can find me at Wizard World on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or you can find me on my personal Instagram, Jazzy Diva with 3 Z's.
Awesome. Underdog, tell us about season 6 and then shamelessly plug yourself.
I don't know if y'all remember Fear the Walking Dead when that crazy black lady in a bathrobe was running around killing people with a stick.
I was thinking about her earlier.
I was about to stop watching this shit. All right. This shit was so freaking stupid. All right. Now we came from that to this. So they really stepped their game up. All right. We went from a crazy lady in the bathrobe with a stick killing people to what we have now. So I think they improved a lot. I love the show. They stepped their game up. They listened to the fans. They know we hated that season. They stepped the game up. So I love it. I think the show is great. And you can find me at Underdog Mr. Williams. I am watching, believe it or not, Mandalorian, the season finale. I can't believe they brought Luke Skywalker back. That's
spoilers, man. No.
sorry, but I just seen it. And Invincible, I'm watching that. Breaking Bad, y'all want to check me out. Underdog Mr. Williams, check me out.
Awesome. Yeah, season 6, I think, was an amazing season. And just a couple things, you guys covered all the major points and how good it was. But I got to say, those writers, their attention to detail. The fact that, Sherry in the dream sequence in the future, which actually made me think that it was actually a true vision of the future when she had, Tina as a baby, which was the name of her sister who died when they first met Daryl way back. The attention to detail is amazing. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's like Invincible. I didn't read the comics. I had no idea what to expect from the show, and it was amazing. So I'm hoping that season 7 is just as amazing. We have some people, Deborah, Ms. Kayla, Wildwave. They basically are saying that this was a great panel tonight. Thank you so much. And we're going to miss you guys until August, but maybe we'll do something before. Maybe we'll do Villains Part 2 right before, and we'll see what guests we can get. And Ms. Kayla says, Mitch Williams waiting on that Mandalorian Season 2 finale. Can't wait to see it. You can find me on Fandom Spotlight. I am the host of The Governor Reacts. We're going to do something really wild coming with Season 11 of Walking Dead with The Governor Reacts, so check that out. We also have a lot of new panels that are showing up on the channel, and we're doing the compilations. It's taken me a little longer, but have patience. You will have compilations, a compilation for episode 16, and maybe I'll start Invincible after that. We'll see.
Please,
should be fun.
Good.
So thanks for tuning in to this overlong panel. I know Mike is probably like, hurry the fuck up, Governor.
Mike's already gone.
Yeah, he's like, we'll be streaming forever until next week. But thanks for watching. This is from
not him showing his face.
He's actually showing his face in the finale of this season. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Governor and this awesome crew out.
I still liked it when they were in Mexico better.
This is John Glover, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Lionel Luther recommends it. Have some fun. Follow your fandom.